Batman? That's right, Catwoman and Two-Face, Harvey Dent and Selma Kyle, I guess if you want to be pedantic. These two characters I find as... Two-Face especially is one of my favourites of the Batman mythos. Joker's obviously the top. I'm sorry, but you're not a real geek if you don't love Joker. But Harvey Dent's up there because he's confusing. If anyone has ever read No Man's Land, and for friends who know me, I bang on about this a little bit, but No Man's Land, I think, is a great novel of Batman. Because it just brings about everything, these villains and Batman, and it just understands Batman. It really gets what Batman's about. But Harvey Dent in this one, at one stage he captures... I'm going to tell you spoilers for anyone who hasn't read No Man's Land and wants to read it. But turn this up now. I'm giving you a couple of seconds. Okay, time's up. Harvey Dent captures Jim Gordon and brings him to his base of operations. But rather than just kill him, he puts him on trial for crimes against the people who live in Harvey Dent's area, in his gang-held area. And obviously there's Two-Face plays the prosecutor, and he calls for someone to be Gordon's attorney, and for some reason Harvey Dent is the attorney. So he's arguing against himself. And it's this very interesting point that there's a side of him that wants humanity to survive, but there's a side of him who realizes humanity must die. Hence the coin. Does humanity deserve to survive or not? And that's one of the most interesting things about Harvey Dent. And then, of course, I have Catwoman. Catwoman, she seems to just be here more than anything else to fulfill that love interest thing that we have to have. I mean, I guess if you call Dr. Young the love interest of the last game, she's like the Rachel. She gets killed. Oh, spoiler. Oh, come on. If you're on here and you don't care about spoilers, then tough. Anyway. But I'm not 100% sure because, again, Catwoman's always an interesting character. This is the thing that defines Batman's gallery of rogues. They're all interesting in their own right. Now, Catwoman, sometimes she's working with Batman, sometimes she's trying to kill Batman, and sometimes she's trying to steal things and Batman's trying to stop her. It's a very interesting relationship between the two, and it could go either way. She could very much... It's been announced that the start of the game will begin with Harvey Dent being about to... or Two-Face being about to execute her, and Batman comes in to save her. But whether or not that's set up to bring him in, and now is going to run around doing other things, and basically annoying Batman, is yet to be seen. She can ally, but I don't see how that would... It could lead to a co-op mode, I guess, but I think that would just get more flack for being unnecessary than praise, I guess. I'm not sure. She's going to be a very interesting character to look at. Still. Anyway. So, Batman back in the city now. And this one I wanted to pick up in particular because, as you can see, he's looking at a cathedral. Now, I started by saying that these pictures were linked, and I think this is a particular scene from the game. This next lot. That last lot in the sort of room, maybe even leading up to the room that has been done up to here, seemed to be one part, or at least when we first get into the area with the two henchmen, one with the chair. You can go back and check it if you like, but still, seems to be one defined section from there until we get back to Catwoman in here. This whole next bit seems to be set in the church, and seems to be one whole part that has been done. And I would be intrigued to know how it's been done, because we are now back to... Well, we are now back to Harley Quinn, I guess. Very simple. And in the first game, she was not a boss. She was just a test of my compatibility, and that was a pain, because, as I've pointed out, I did not have good compatibility. So, I'm not sure whether she's going to be done well this time, because I wouldn't see her fighting Batman head-on. It would be kind of difficult for her to do. But still, it could be interesting. And, again, she's got a little henchman, but Batman's got a smoke bomb. A smoke grenade. I like that. As a new weapon for Batman, I think that's an important one. Because, Batman just swung off. He's Batman, for fuck's sake. He can do plenty of stuff. He can smoke bombs, he can probably got some bat repellent guard spray that he can use. He's got everything. He should be fine. Look, he can put these two guards in a headlock, and one of them's got a gun. Smash their heads together. It's not hard. Yeah, but then we've got this last picture of Harley Quinn, and she seems to always be talking to him. It's like they're friends. I just don't understand. There's got to be something bigger than this. It can't just be these gangs. There's got to be something bigger underpinning it. I mean, you could run around taking out the separate gangs, I guess, but that would just feel unnecessary as a Batman game because it's not needed. They're in prison. Batman doesn't need to do anything. It's why he hasn't done anything. Catwoman's got to give him some reason to stay in there. And if it's above the gangs and they're all, underpinned by it, it's possibly got something to do with Talia al Ghul, another character, not pictured, but has been confirmed by her voice actor. So whether or not it's got something to do with her and Raz and the League of Assassins remains to be seen. But yes, of course, we end with Batman flying away from something that's blowing up. So, and of course, Harley Quinn's not going to have been in there. Don't worry about that. She'll be fine. Now, I will actually answer some criticism I have been hearing as well, because these are all the pictures done. I'd just like to go back to Harley Quinn. I've heard a lot of people say that her costume looks worse than the first game, the nurse's outfit. I liked her costume in the first game. It was nice. It was different. And I don't mind this one either. They're both of equal stature in my view. But they work for the game. And while you're running around blowing things up with foam, hitting people with batarangs, fighting giant mutants and mutant plants, there's this weird sense of realism, or gritty, cartoony realism, I guess, about the whole thing. And for some reason, and I guess it's because the backstory is so intricate, but if you accept the characters as you enter, except that Bane gets pumped with venom and turns him into a big monster, then it's an easy step to accept that you can make one that would pump people into big monsters. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. You accept that Killer Croc believes he's more crocodile than man, then it's very easy to accept that he'd be living in a sewer and they'd be throwing meat at him and he'd be going, "I'm going to eat you, Batman." So that's the realism. But if Harlequin was walking around in a full Harlequin costume with little dilly boppers and everything, and it was just somehow cheapen it, I guess. I don't know. Although they criticise another character costume, I do think the Two-Face costume is a bit overdone. I mean, it looks like he's been freshly blown up, which he hasn't. He's been blown up ages ago, obviously. I mean, he was in the game, and this is meant to be about a year later, I think. That was when he was taken to prison by Batman, so he shouldn't have a suit that exploded. I mean, I'll give the face, but the suit's... Couldn't you get something else? I'm thinking Tommy Lee Jones here. Okay, I probably shouldn't be thinking Tommy Lee Jones, but you get my drift. Catwoman, I'm not going to complain about. I can see her breasts, and call me old-fashioned, but that is what a female supervillain costume has always been, and probably will continue to be. So, that's the little dissection. Thank you. This is the first edition of The Knife. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I'm the gentleman, and yeah, see you around.